Good evening and welcome to the first of the Yorkshire Tees and Humber trivia nights. It's very strange to be going live to you guys at home. What we'd love you to do is invite your friends to join us for the evening. We're hoping it's going to be an hour and a half of just interactive games, trivia, just fun for the whole family. So get inviting your friends and tell us on the Facebook feed who's watching, where you're watching from, and just what sort of day you're having.
This is something very different for me and Sarah to be doing. It's a bit out of our comfort zone, so please do bear with us. But we want to say a massive thank you to James Beecham, who's given us a help tonight, and Morley Salvation Army for letting us record this in their hall this evening. Tonight isn't going to be overly competitive. It's more about having a bit of fun at home with the family. So there will be some normal quiz type rounds, but there'll also be some challenges and activities for you to be involved with. So enter into it in the spirits of thing and use the comment section to send in your comments of what you're doing, who you're doing it with this evening.
And say let's got lots of likes and lots of loves and lots of laughs, hopefully, as the evening goes on. It's worth saying as well that we've got a couple of birthdays from around the couple of divisions. So happy birthday to Hannah Gotobed, who is 18.
And a happy birthday to Isaac Shaw, who is 16 today. We both hope you're having a fantastic weekend amid what is very different circumstances for your birthday this year.
Yeah, but happy birthday to you guys. We're going to start to crack on with the first round. We've put together a logo quiz, and Mark's going to lead us through that one.
Okay, so as we've said, you're not going against everyone other than those at your home. So what you're going to see is a series of 10 cropped images, and you need to work out the logo. So maybe if you can grab a piece of paper or use your notepad on your phone to write down your answers. Once we've gone through the 10 logos, we will then go through the answers. So James, I wonder if we could have number 1 on the screen. You can have a look at that logo and write down what you think it is. Remember to do comment on the group who you are with this evening, who are you doing this quiz with.
It's worth saying that Mark told me that some of these were really easy and failed miserably. So other than possibly some of food-related items.
I thought you'd get about 8 out of 10. I think you got about 5, 6. So we're hoping that you do well this evening. We'll leave that one on for a couple more seconds longer before we move on to the second one, and then we will go through them once again as well, so you've got a bit of time to come back to it. We're aware that there are people joining the group as we chat, so we'll do this logo quiz a few times round. So let's move on to number 2. Again, tonight is just a bit of fun. It's been a bit unusual having your Sundays at home over the last few weeks. I'm more concerned personally about the time, when the time comes when we have to go back to church, and I have to be ready in time to get to the meeting for 10 o'clock or 10:30 in different places across the divisions. I can see we've had a few comments coming in. One from Luke Furlong, let's get quizzical. There we are. Hi Katie and Dan, I can see you're watching. Sophie Nash.
I like the fact that Emma's watching via FaceTime as well. So those without Facebook are still getting involved, which is great.
It's very unusual doing this without anyone else in the room. In the room, a bit of context, we're sat in an empty hall, and there's me, Sarah, and James. And James is off camera, so you can do a lot of things to distract us. But it's great having that support this evening.
I'm going to keep checking the Facebook group as well in case anybody is wanting to be invited. So keep inviting your friends, keep inviting your family. It doesn't necessarily have to be people from our division. It can be from across the board. Just happy for anybody that wants to be involved to be involved.
And also use this group to share what you have been getting up to during lockdown. Send in some of your comments about what you've been doing to fill your time during this time of lockdown. I've been trying to do some gardening, which I'm failing miserably. But I've found that one of the things I'm doing really well is eating lots during lockdown. So I am trying to make the most of that daily exercise, but again, failing miserably at that too.
I've got all good intentions of daily exercise and then find that the fish and chip shop is just far more impressive than going anywhere near the park.
Even when we take my daughter Imogen out for a walk, there's a house in our neighbourhood that are giving away free sweets. So even that exercise turns into some free sweets on the trip.
That's amazing. Why are they giving away free sweets?
It's just one thing this whole lockdown has brought is a good community feel, and it's good to see people's generosity and that everyone coming together. So it's been nice in our neighbourhood to see how they are working together, and giving out free sweets is always a winner in my eyes.
Good to know that people aren't getting these as easily as I did as well. Luke's struggling with number 5. I thought it was just me that was going to struggle with them.
Alex Mortimer said, did anyone know number 7 before lockdown?
So we'll bit of a hint there.
We'll flick through them all again, don't you worry.
And also the fact that Jane, my amazing divisional leader, is stuffing her faces with Jaffa cakes.
That's something we forgot to do, is bring some snacks while we're doing this.
I bought some. Oh, they're off camera. In the break, I'm going to go get them. Just to say, at all times, me and Mark are staying 2 meters apart. We are following all the strict social distancing guidelines. We've bought with us some anti-back wipes.
I was going to say, you've got them under your seat.
I don't even know if I'm on camera, but there you go, if I am. To make sure that we keep ourselves kind of, risk-free, safe at all times.
So on the screen just now, you've got all 10 that you can view at once. They are. Let us know which one you are finding the hardest as well. Luke has mentioned at number 5, he is finding the hardest. Let me just have another scroll through.
Oh, it's nice to know that your wife and daughter are watching. And they're having afternoon tea.
We haven't had an afternoon tea once during this lockdown. I go out and make some scones.
I should have read the rest of the comment that says, it sounds fancy, but the toddler made it.
And it's a good job I'm out tonight. Let's see. Paul Huggins is watching from Charter Row Lifehouse. Paul Hardcastle has no idea what number 5 is either.
It's not just me that struggles with these then.
So, Sarah, what have you been filling your time in lockdown with a little bit? Have you taken up anything new during this time?
So I love to paint, and when I say paint, I'm talking paint by numbers.
The adults one, not
the adult one. And later on, I'll put a picture in the group just to prove that it is an adult's version. But I've been doing that. We're in the process of trying to move house. So we keep packing boxes and we keep on stacking them high and just waiting for the moment that we can actually move house.
I thought you were going to say, as you're waiting to move house, you keep packing them, but the longer this lasts, you're having to unpack them at the same time because you need something or...
Oh, no, we've been quite good, been very strict and put away kind of quite a lot of things. The only thing we really struggled with the other day was that I'd got all the ingredients to make a lasagna. I started to make the lasagna, then realised that the lasagna dish was very much in the bottom of a box and had to start unpacking things.
Brilliant.
So, yeah.
One thing I tried new was last week, we know Grace Odin. I dropped off some shopping at her house and we tried to cook a meal together over a Zoom call. We made a lasagna, which she shared with her mum at night. I'm in the process of trying to edit that into a video, but an hour and a half is quite a lot to edit down into a couple of minutes. But apparently the food was good, so that's a good news as well.
Also, Kimberly Hamlet, you should know number 5.
Oh, there's a little
You really, really should. Yeah, let's crack on with the answers then. I'm going to leave this to Mark again, just in case I get them wrong.
I'm just making sure I've got the answers up so I don't get them wrong. Okay, so number 1. I wonder if whilst we're going through this, and whilst I'm talking about it, can anyone put the answer to number 1 on the group? So number 1 is there. It is Amazon. It's something that I've used quite a few times during lockdown.
I was going to say, my Amazon purchases have definitely gone up. They've They do everything, don't they? And also Amazon Now for shopping, absolutely amazing.
Did everyone get number 1? Did we all get that one? I think that was a nice, easy one to get started. And I know, moving on to number 2, this is one that you got instantly, Sarah.
This is because this is the one that James is missing the most. And I also know that Jane Cowell is missing this as well. And they will be 2 happy people in my life when Starbucks can reopen. They are massively, massively missing it.
Thankfully, a massive thank you to James and Sarah, because they brought me a Costa from one of the express machines on the way. And it wasn't until I started drinking it I realized it was the first coffee I've had in about 5 weeks now. And I instantly noticed the impact it had on me. So thank you for the coffee. Let's move on to number 3.
I'm just adding more people to the group as we speak.
Brilliant. Number 3 is Greggs. I'm not sure if Greggs are still open. I think they've closed as well during lockdown. So there might be some people missing.
I have to say, Greggs are still donating things though.
Amazing.
So I was at a food bank the other day and walked in, and the smell of Greggs hit me. It was amazing. And they had donated a couple of 100 donuts and Yum Yums. And honestly, the smell, it was just like sugar heaven. It was incredible.
There's been a lot of very generous people during this time, and it's been nice to see that come out in people and their generosity. And we have to be thankful for a lot of gifts that have been donated to the Salvation Army to give out in food banks across the country. So let's move on to number 4. IKEA. What did you think this one was, Sarah? You didn't get this one,
I thought it was Lidl or Aldi, whichever one is those two colours. I was really convinced as well.
Just looking at one of the comments, Davina Beecham has commented, funnily enough, Adam knew number 3, so he knew Greggs. I wonder how quickly Adam got that one.
That was the one that I got straight away, I have to say.
So the next one, before you put the answer up, James, I wonder if you could just put the logo up again. Whilst you're doing it. This is the one we've seen a lot of people struggling with. So whilst we're chatting, I wonder if anyone can put, does anyone know the answer? If you do, share it in the group, we'll keep an eye on that. Sarah, did you get this one?
I didn't get this one. I am just laughing at the fact that my mum has commented about Greggs, about the fact that she's missing cheese and onion pasties. So I did think that would be a thing for her.
One thing we know from doing this evening is if we're struggling at any point to fill, let's just talk about food. We get the most comments about that.
I was going to say, the food things are absolutely on fire there.
So Kim Hamlet thinks she knows this one.
She better do.
Interestingly enough, on Casper Salvation Army this morning, we interviewed Kim's mum, which was it was really nice to hear from her. And speaking about that, we will now reveal the answer. The answer for number 5, it is a hard one, but it is the NHS. And we are very thankful for everything they are doing at this moment in time. Have you joined in on the Thursday night, going out and clapping in the neighbourhood?
We have as well. Yeah, we have. We've been outside and we've been with the neighbours, and it's been quite a nice kind of neighbour atmosphere. The one thing that really impressed me was my uncle, who used to be a part of the Salvation Army, hasn't picked up a brass instrument for 38 years, and yet went out and played. It was either horn or baritone, and played it incredibly well. And just the fact that, again, we watched it on Facebook, and just the fact that his neighbours, again at a safe distance, were all watching and joining in and absolutely loving it. So, we have been joining in.
It's been nice to see those videos of people sharing, how they're joining in and trying to get people involved with it on the first evening. I don't think there's been any call for me to get the tuba out on the Thursday night and play anything. I'm not going to try that this week, though.
I'm waiting for somebody to request a duet from me and James, but surprisingly, it's not happened yet.
And it's been nice to see Dan. I know Dan and Katie are watching. We've seen your videos on Facebook of you playing on a Thursday night. I think you played "You'll Never Walk Alone" this week, I think.
Nice.
Which makes me think of that Tom Moore guy who raised 28 million and just got number 1 for his 100th birthday, which is incredible.
What an amazing way to show that one person can make a massive difference.
Yvonne West, she got number 5 right. There we are. Paul Huggins thought it was Prezzo. So let's move on to number 6.
I thought it was Prezzo.
You did?
I did. I was going on the food theme.
Number 6. It's the Champions League. I'm a Liverpool fan, I am missing football, but just before lockdown, Liverpool got knocked out of the Champions League, so I'm not missing that at the minute. But I'm missing sport in general, that's for sure. And let's go to number 7, sorry. Zoom.
Zoom.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was Alex that mentioned it earlier on in the chat. This is something that a lot of people didn't know of before lockdown, but now a lot of people are using it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had meeting calls on it as well, the first time that I've ever done that. I think Morley Salvation Army have a prayer group that happens over Zoom at 12 o'clock every day.
Oh, brilliant.
So, a great way to use social media.
And that's something the Salvation Army is doing every day at 12 o'clock. They're getting together to spend time in prayer for everything that's ongoing. We have had a request from Luke Furlong for a duet from Sarah and James on a Thursday evening.
I'm just
James has firmly said no to that.
I don't know why. It's rude.
He's also requested I play Teddy Bear's Picnic on a tuba, but I don't think there's any need for that.
On to number 8.
This was the one I thought was going to be the hardest one.
I didn't get this one
It seems number
whatsoever.
5 was the hardest.
Not a chance did I get this. What about on to number 9? TikTok. I'm not 100% sure what it is. I've seen apps, I've seen some people
I've seen a lot of really funny videos, and it's something that I need, as a youth worker, I need to embrace, find out more about it. I'm not sure I'm going to be creating some of the videos
I was going to say, I feel quite uncomfortable with the fact that I'm on camera now, never mind doing it more.
Moving on to the last one, you got this one instantly, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm not sure how I knew this one straight away, but I did.
You just know your charities.
Just know my charities, that's it, absolutely.
So how did you do on that? If you can write in the comments section how many you got out of 10. I think if I was doing it, I would have probably got about 8, maybe.
I'd have got Greg's and Starbucks.
The food and drink,
Absolutely.
Yep, straight away.
So I'm going to ask Mark a few questions, just to ask what he's been up to since lockdowns happened, but send us in your answers to them. Send us in kind of how many you've got. So Mark, tell us a little bit about how lockdown has changed things for you.
I'd say that the biggest impact I've found is on a personal level, kind of adjusting to being stuck in the house. It's been challenging because we are still working at this moment in time, finding that balance of I've got to work during these hours, spend time with family, and then having a 2-year-old, trying to help her understand that I'm not always available to play, and trying to adjust to that each day. So that's been a real hard challenge. But actually, on another level, I've found communication with people across my division and family. There's been more of an effort to make sure we do that, and we do that well. We're very aware that people can be isolated during this time. So just whether it's calling family, friends, fellow workers, just to see how are you doing, how are you finding this moment in time. I've really enjoyed that, actually.
Yeah. And whereabouts across the division have you been?
So I haven't been to many cores and places in a minute. One thing I have been doing, I think it's been really worthwhile, is speaking to officers to share some of their good news. There's so much good news out there, and it can be quite easy during this time to focus on the sad side of things, the negative side of things, but actually sharing that good news of what's taken place. We've mentioned already about the generous giving to Salvation Armies for food banks. And there's so much work going on in the food bank, not just actually giving out the parcels, but the prep work that needs to go in to the food bank before. Whether it is how the Salvation Army has adapted to doing online services. It's great to see church on all these social media forums. And actually for me personally at a Casford level, at my home corps, seeing how it's engaging with people that maybe haven't been to the physical building in quite a while, but now I've engaged with it on a social media thing. I've got a video coming out tomorrow morning where I interview Ed Borrett, who works for the Salvation Army Project G21. He's going to be sharing a little bit of information about what they have been doing during this time. And again, it's just a bit more about sharing that good news at this moment in time.
So quite clearly your faith is really impacting everything that you do. Is there a particular scripture or song or something that's kind of helped you just kind of really focus at this time?
Yeah, when I got given a Bible many times in my lifetime, as you do being in the church, But I remember in 1995, I got given a Bible with this scripture in it, and it was Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6, about trusting the Lord God with all your heart. And that is something that I've found has just resonated with me during these moments. In terms of a song, something that I have loved listening to, and it kind of works alongside that sharing of good news, is that the song, Lord, You Are Good. I really like just focusing on the good elements right now and trying to be positive in these moments in time. So yeah.
Amazing. Well, let's see how many kind of people got during that.
So Jane, the DC of Yorkshire North and T, she got 6 out of 10. I bet you got the Starbucks one, Jane.
I bet she did.
Hannah Eaton got 6. Sophie Nash got 7.
So on a Monday night, a group of girls get together, and there's 6 of us that normally get together, and baby Isla as well, who's just started crawling. Amazing. But we get together, we have food together, because everything's based around food, but they're playing as a team tonight, so that's also going on. They got 9 out of 10. I'd be really intrigued to know which one that they got wrong, and if it was the NHS, that's shocking.
Yeah. We've got a few 9 out of 10s. Gavin Parker got 9 out of 10. Who else?
Hannah Eaton got 6 out of 10.
Nancy and Alicia and them got 8 out of 10. Elliot Lister got 8 out of 10. The Beechams, the Mortimers, sorry, got 8 out of 10. I'm just reading the Facebook names here. Luke Furlong got 8 out of 10.
I definitely didn't get that many.
Wayne Price got 5 out of 10. So there we are, we've had a few in, and I've got a few more that are going to keep coming in as we're chatting away.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to switch things up a little bit, and we're going to ask you to get moving and do something a bit more practical. So what we would like you to do is we would like you to build the tallest tower that you can. It's got to be the tallest freestanding tower in your house. That can consist of anything within your house. Make sure that there's nothing really heavy at the top that's going to fall and bop somebody on the head. Make it safe. I'm going to leave it for you guys to risk assess this at home because we're not there. But what we'd really like you to do that, we'd really like you to build this tower. You've got to kind of send in your, what we'd like you to be is freestanding for at least 10 seconds. So either send in a 10-second video clip or a picture of your freestanding tower. And hopefully by the end of tonight, we will be able to show these on the screen.
Yeah, we want you to be as creative as possible. So just using the items in your house, build this freestanding tower. I think there's anything else we need to say on that, is there?
No, I don't think so. We're going to...
Oh, yeah. Go on. So we just wanted to say, we need you to send these videos in to a phone number, which will be appearing on the screen. Okay, so that will appear for a few minutes, and then you're going to have a countdown for about 10 minutes or so, where during that time, you need to go and get the objects, stack them up again, be as creative as possible. You're going to be sharing these little short videos and pictures with us. So we want to have a few laughs along the way as well. And we want to try and work out who gets the tallest one. So we'll have a 10-minute countdown.
Yeah.
And then I think we're going into a worship song following that. So during that time, we need to receive your photos and your videos. And then when we come back, we'll be able to hopefully share some of them with you.
Fantastic. Get building, get creative.
Show us your power. Show us your glory, Lord. Show us your glory. Show us your power. Show us your glory, Lord. We want to see you. Open up the heavens. We want to see you. Open up the floodgates. A mighty river flowing from your heart and filling every part of our praise. Open up the heavens. We want to see you. Open up the floodgates. A mighty river flowing from your heart and filling every part of our praise. Open up the heavens. We want to see you. Open up the floodgates. The mighty river flowing from your heart and filling every part of our praise.
Thank you so much for sending your videos and your photos. Keep them coming. What we're going to do now is we're going to listen to a video, to a track that Mark has said was his favourite and the thing that was really getting him through this lockdown period. And it's Lord, You Are Good, and it's from a couple of Iscas ago. So we're going to have a listen to that. But while we're doing that, please, please, please keep on sending them, and we'll hopefully see them soon. Thanks, guys.
for sending in those video clips. Just to recap what we've been doing, over the last 10 minutes or so, you have been sending in pictures or short videos of the tallest freestanding structure which you've managed to build from items within your house. Now, me and Sarah haven't seen any of these yet. All we have done is we've heard James giggling in the corner as he's received some of these in. We've had a few comments, one from Katie Louise saying, "Who knew building a tower could be so exhausting?"
And the one that says, "Who said that we weren't being competitive?" That's a person after my own heart. Oh my.
Martin Locke, I can't even begin to tell you how tall it is. It's
2.9
meters.
Excellent. Let's get some likes and some loves going up the screen for these.
Yeah, I don't think everyone's going to be able to tell us how tall they are, but that is quite a tall one. I'd be surprised if we get any taller than that.
I reckon that's the only time they've used the ironing board, just saying.
That is quite impressive. If I was to build that one at home, Imogen would come along and just knock it down straight away.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Amazing. It's very well balanced.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Whoa, what's going on here?
So this is the Mortimers. This upside down on the table.
Amazing. Is that almost touching the ceiling?
That's impressive.
That's incredible.
It's above the stars.
I was going to say, it's taller than Adam and he's on the table. Amazing.
Great effort, Pete.
I reckon loads of these are going to be
Loving the
built
hair,
out
Pete.
of Amazon boxes, because that's what people have got lying around. Well done, Pete.
What I want to know is, you can also put in the comment section, did these towers manage to come down safely? What on earth have we got going on here? That is
Jen?
brilliant. Yeah, standing on top of her mum. She's nearly reaching the ceiling. That must be the tallest one yet.
I want to know, were you able to stand like that for 10 seconds without falling off?
Did you let go of a
I
wall,
was gonna
Jen?
say, don't if you didn't.
Another one.
That one is Kim's. And again, lots of boxes going in that one. I think, again, nearly touching the ceiling. Incredible. I think you guys have done amazing to be able to do this so quickly. And it concerned me when I was getting messages through saying people had gone into the garden because it was too big for their house. So again, thank you guys for getting involved. It's worth saying as well that if you want to invite anybody to join in with the quiz, then send them the link to the Facebook page and we'll approve them into the group. It's welcome to anybody, so welcome to families and anybody that might be just a little bit lonely at this time or just needing a good old cheer up at this point. So invite them into the group and we'll get them okayed as well. So keep inviting them in.
I have to say, when we started this challenge, I didn't expect them to be so high. So I think we need to put a little caveat out there. Please be careful when you're deconstructing these towers. Don't injure yourself. I'm thinking particularly of the Mortimers and Jen as she climbs down from the wall.
My thought was definitely for Jen, how she's going to dismount from that. We're going to have some Olympics.
Okay, so we're going to move on, but if you haven't sent them through, oh no, we've got a few more. So we've got some videos. So next we've got a video.
Hello,
this
Wayne
is
Price.
Wayne Price, Divisional Mission Labour for Yorkshire North and Tees. I'm just going to try and...
Do you think this is the only time that Wayne's used the ironing board? He also looks like he's trying to be the Statue of Liberty.
I like the choreography that's gone into this.
Ironing boards are a theme. Maybe this is because we
have to say another thank you for James for working on these so quickly to get them on the screen for us.
we don't know whose this one is. So if you could tell us if this is you, if this is your ironing board with an apple on top, then do let us know. Who's not eaten their Easter eggs yet?
An Easter theme one.
No way! They can
impressive.
definitely come round to my house. Well done, Fairlongs. But if you're wanting a good home for them, by all means, send them through.
That is great. We've got a post here, K Morby. Their tower is already back in the recycling bin.
Oh, well done, Morbis.
If this tower wants to go in the recycling bin, send it round to my house. I'll happily recycle that one.
I'm a lot nearer.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Well done, Fairlongs.
So it's been great to get some of those through. And if you haven't sent them through, please do keep them coming in. We will post them on the group maybe later, or we'll share them on our divisional page later in the week as well.
Did we find out who was the ironing board with the apple on top? Because that was very impressive.
The one with the apple on top is the Seftons.
Was the Seftons. Well done.
So the tallest apple
well
award
done, Seftons.
goes to the Seftons.
Excellent stuff. Fantastic. Well, we're going to keep moving on from that, but we are going to have some more later on.
Sorry.
It's all right. We're on Name That Tune.
Okay.
Can you tell that we're live and that we've never done this before?
So moving on, we need to say a massive thank you to some members of our ISCA team. Sadly, ISCA can't take place this year, and we will be planning to bring something to you in a different format, whether that's online, we just don't know as it stands right now. But we want to make sure whether it's something like this, something different will take place. However, we have asked a few of the ISCA team that we're going to be if they'll contribute something. And Matthew Trotter has done a Name That Tune round for us this evening.
Amazing.
So again, as we've said in the previous rounds, mark your own, write down your own answers. You're going to need your notepads or a pen and paper. We're going to play a video, and each clip you'll see twice through. Now, when I was putting this video together, I was trying to find, someone on the internet who would do the number 1, number 2, all that kind of thing. I couldn't find anyone, but my daughter recited that back to me. So introducing each one is Imogen, and then we'll listen to them through. And once we've done that, we'll come back and we'll have the answers. So here is Name That Tune round.
Number 1. Number 1. Number 2. Number 2. Number 3. Number 3. Number 4. Number 4. Number 5. Number 5. Number 6. Number 6. Number 7. Number 7. Number 8. Number 8. Number 9. Number 9. Number 10. Number 10.
So I have to say I really struggled with quite a few of those, and that was the first time of me watching them through. What we're going to do is before we get the answers, we're going to see a couple more clips of some towers that have been sent in. If you've not sent yours, try and send it in as soon as possible, and we'll try and get it on before the end of the quiz.
So here's one we've got in. Dave is 6.2. 6 feet 2, so that's taller than him.
6.2.
Looks like what's he used here to build this? We've got some DVD.
I think we've got. Is it something army related?
Brilliant.
It could be.
Another
well
fantastic
done, Dave
effort
and
there.
Yvonne.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, and definitely the bottom is the cat.
Oh, so if you don't know, this person at the bottom, this is my brother who's living with us at the minute. Decided to move in just before lockdown, and we've been locked in the same house since. It's absolutely fine, we get on well. They have managed to make a 3-person tower, and there's my daughter and wife there.
Ah, good to know that the Elliots are joining in with the quiz fun. Keeping the whole family entertained, aren't we?
Brilliant.
I'm loving the fact that Imogen is just looking so happy about this as well.
It's because she's had that afternoon tea whilst I've been out. Brilliant. So shall we move on to the answers? So you've just done that Name That Tune round, where you've watched the videos. And again, thank you to Matthew for sending that in.
Yeah, over the next few weeks. So we're going to try and do this fortnightly. So every Sunday night there will be something going across the divisions. And we will tell you more about that. But we are going to ask the ISCA staff and the youth band team and the youth chorus team to get more and more involved. So guys, if you didn't know that, this is your warning that we may be coming to you soon for some help.
We're also aware there's a lot of quizzes online, and as you will have seen so far this evening, we wanted this one to be a little bit different, creative, and get you up and moving around your house. So if you have some creative ideas, send a private message to Sarah and I so we can try and make that into something for that.
Absolutely.
So now if you want to watch the screen, again, it's going to be Matthew playing. You'll hear it through one more time, and then the answer will be revealed. So have a watch. Here's the answers.
I'm glad it's not up.
Number 1. Number 1. Number 2. Number 2. Number 3. Number 3. Number 4. Number 4. Number 5. Number 5. Number 6. Number 6. Number 7. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Number 9. Number 10.
Okay, so I really want you to let us know how well you did in that round. I'm already well aware that Jane unfortunately didn't do very well in that. And are you telling me honestly, boss, that you didn't understand Shine Jesus Shine and you didn't get that one?
It was tough. It was a hard round. If you've been to ISCA before, you will have recognised some of them from previous ISCAs as well. But whilst we're continue talking, we're going to have a look at one of the videos that was submitted for the tallest tower. But whilst we're looking at that, please can you keep submitting your scores for the Name That Tune round, and we can respond to them as they come in. Let us know which one you found the hardest, what one you found maybe the easiest. Parker and Sheffield, I think they did this in the garden. We can't see it. James has told us it's as tall as the house.
Are we allowed to come see it?
So we'll be able to see it. So we'll be able to see it on my computer down here in a minute. There'll be a bit of a delay. But well done for submitting this entry. We're just seeing it now. And wow, that is the tallest one tonight we've had. Thank you for sending that in. Has that got a flag at the top as well?
It has got a flag at the top. Oh, and a dance to go with it as well. Well done to the Parker family.
Thank you for sending us in. We'll now look at the scores for the Name That Tune round. So what have we got in here? This might be one of the highest scores. Kay, our youth chorus leader, she got 7 out of 10.
Monday Club are thinking that they got 7. I'm not sure where the think comes into it. They did or they didn't.
Elliot Lister got 5. Where we are. A few comments about how impressive that tower was from the Parkers.
We did get a message from Joya while you guys were off building, saying that they had to go outside because it was going to be too tall for the living room. So we knew it was going to be an impressive tower.
Katie Sefton said she got 10 out of 10 on that round. That is really impressive.
Oh, we've got a few people asking what the answer was for number 10.
So number 10 was No Time to Die. It's the new James Bond theme.
I liked it.
The film was supposed to be out now, but it's been pushed back till I think November time.
I'm really missing going to the cinema.
Yeah.
Tell us what you guys are missing. Like, is there something in particular? I'm also missing the fact that I've not been able to get a haircut. But I'm really missing going to the cinema, and I'm really missing Wagamamas.
You might have been able to tell I've been able to have a haircut.
Well, James also let me shave his head, which was hilarious because he honestly just you could tell that he was just getting really tense because he wasn't in control. It was amazing.
There was a moment when my brother asked if I'd cut his hair, and I have to say there was that inner thought in my mind of, do I do this sensibly or I've got the razor in my hand, do I just quickly But I think I did a good job. He seemed to be happy with it anyway.
Oh, could you imagine? Like, lockdown would just get far more intense.
Matthew Trotter, a few responses in terms of quite cheeky with your Shine Jesus Shine entry. It was a bit jazzed up.
I was going to say, that's the one that seems to be causing the most, controversial.
Kay Morby didn't get Shine Jesus Shine. There we are. Elliot Lister said he's missing playing snooker right now.
Ah, fair enough.
So yeah, keep submitting your scores. It's great to see how you got on. And again, thank you for Matthew for submitting that.
Absolutely.
That really helps this evening. We're now going to move on to our next round, which again involves you taking a short video. In a minute, we're going to play a video, and this is going to be called the Teacup Challenge. Okay? What you need to do is get a teacup, a mug out of your kitchen, and a tea bag. And then you need to stick to social distancing guidelines and be 2 meters away from that teacup. We want you to film yourself throwing tea bags into your teacup. We want to see how many tea bags you can get into that teacup in 1 minute. So these are 1-minute videos. We're going to have a short intro video for this, and then there'll be a 5-minute countdown on the screen. The number for you to send these videos into will appear on the screen again. So you've got some time to do this. Go to your kitchen, get a tea bag, a teacup, get ready to film it. We want to see how many times you can throw a tea bag into a teacup in 1 minute, and then send your videos in. So good luck, and we look forward to seeing those videos shortly. Yeah.
Okay, so get those videos sent in. The number should be coming across your screen as we speak. Please make sure you send them in via WhatsApp to make it easier for James as well. That would be fantastic.
Isolation tea bag challenge. All you have to do is throw the tea bag in the cup. It's the isolation tea bag challenge.
Okay, so if you can keep sending in your videos of you trying to see how many times you can get a tea bag into a teacup in 1 minute, send those through to the number that was on the screen. Whilst you're doing that, whilst you're sending those through, I'm going to ask Sarah a few questions about how she's finding this period of lockdown. So Sarah, how are you finding this moment in time? How are you finding this period of lockdown?
I just think everything's just really, really bizarre. Like I said, I'm massively missing certain things that you take for granted. So things like going to the cinema, going for, like just being able to go for a coffee, seeing friends. We were really fortunate to be able to drop some baking off. I entered a charity bake-off because, you know, what else do you do with your weekends now that you can't go anywhere? And we were able to drop it at a friend's house at a social distance, but not to be able to give that friend a hug was just, I absolutely hated that. So I suppose that's the only way that kind of life has massively changed. But yeah, it's just really odd.
Whilst you've been saying that, people have been sending in things that they've been missing. So we've got Davina said Steve is missing eating out in the cinema. Jen Duran's missing lifeguarding. Adam Mortimer, he's missing restaurants,
Yes.
missing food.
I'm with you, Adam. I'm with you, baritone buddy.
Harry is missing grace, friends and family.
Come on, guys.
So we've got a lot of people said missing cinema and things like that. So a lot of people can relate to that.
Absolutely. I think it is just, I'm really missing being able to see people. So I'm really missing like youth band and youth chorus. Just that whole actually being able to see people and just, even going to McDonald's with friends.
I have to say,
Properly
like,
missing it.
during these last few weeks, it seems like the weather's just switched and got nice. And I've missed barbecues all of a sudden. Gathering as a group of friends, having some food, definitely missing that.
Yeah, and we do that quite a lot as a family. We eat, well, surprise, surprise, we eat a lot. But yeah, to have people around to be able to kind of share food with them, it's just missing that, I guess, more than anything.
So whilst we continue, do remember to keep sending in your videos. We need them to come through. Sarah, how's work been for you? How are you finding work?
So work's completely different. So I'm not really doing a DYS role at the moment. I am still trying to do that as well, but I've been redeployed. And so for over 3 weeks now, I've been mainly based at Keighley. And I've been there and I've been doing, helping them run their food bank and kind of doing deliveries out to people. Their core officers were in self-isolation for a couple of weeks, and then unfortunately one of them developed symptoms, so stayed away even longer. So for 3 weeks they were without a core officer, so I was able to be there. They deliver over 100 food parcels every week, so they don't have anybody come into the building, but they actually deliver them out with a team of volunteers. And that's been amazing. I absolutely loved it, being able to kind of be Jesus on the ground and go and do that. It's been great because it's meant I'm out the house as well, because actually James is furloughed at the moment, so 2 of us in the house all the time would just be a little bit crazy. But yeah, so just being out and about, so mainly being based at Keighley, around and about some other places as well.
So I saw on today, I think the local MP for Keighley has commented that he was helping out Keighley Salvation Army by going out and delivering some of these food parcels, and he was just really applauding the work of the Salvation Army at this moment in time.
Yeah, so his name's Robbie Moore, and it was amazing. In one of my first days down there, he came and introduced himself, and of course, everybody else knew who he was because they were all Keighley based. I had no idea who this guy was, and I have to say, he's quite young to be an MP. But he came and he introduced himself and said that he wanted to kind of get involved and get volunteering. And he's been going out and doing some of the delivery rounds as well. And it's been ace to see people from the local community where they've been redeployed as well. So some of the guys that have worked for the council, so some lifeguards and other people have been based at Keighley Salvation Army as well. So it's really nice to see how they are working together. And we're a food bank, and then the mosque is a food bank as well. So they're serving people who have got halal kind of requirements, and it's just amazing to see people working together.
That's great, that community spirit. The question you asked me, is there a song or a piece of scripture you found particularly helpful during this time?
Yeah, so as you'll all know, or most of you will know, especially from ISCA, I do love to sing. I'm just unfortunately not very gifted at it, and I think God's got a sense of humour with the fact that he's given me this great desire to sing. but the ability is lacking. But it's been great to be able to be in my car and journey to and from Keighley and other places around the division, and be able to listen to music. And one of the songs, and I have a playlist, a Christian music playlist, which has hundreds and hundreds of songs, and nearly every day this song has, I normally put it on shuffle, and every day this song has come on, and it's Build Your Kingdom Here. And the words to the chorus, if anybody doesn't know, say, come set your rule and reign in our hearts again, increase in us, we pray, unveil why we made, come set our hearts ablaze with hope, like wildfire in our very souls. Holy Spirit, come invade us now. We are your church, and we need your power in us. And just that, actually, we're really here to do something. And although church is different, and although church has changed, church is still here, and we can still be Jesus wherever it is.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. It's been great hearing different churches come together, in particular, finding new ways to share these worship songs. And I know Morley Salvation Army have recorded Build Your Kingdom Here, and we're going to listen to that a little bit later on, maybe. That'll be great.
Yeah, it'll be nice to be able to see it. And when we do play the video, just pay attention to the old man who is rocking, playing the guitar, and it's my dad. And I think he might be watching with us tonight as well. And it does make me chuckle that the weather is good, and he's out in the garden, and I think that's because my mum sent him out there. So the poor neighbours as well have just heard my dad's guitar part to Build Your Kingdom Here. So we're going to watch that a little bit later.
So as I said, do keep sending those videos in. It was great to see the tallest tower videos we've received in and pictures we received. If you can send those remaining ones in. Have we had any through, James, at the minute? But what we can do in the meantime, just the tea bag, but that's fine. So James is just working on that. In the meantime, we can continue having a little conversation whilst we've been working on that. How are you finding this moment in time? For us as DOS is when we do have a lot of events which we've run. It's not the main part of our job, but as you'll be aware, we have things like Identity, Teenagers, Transformers, ISCA. A lot of these events have unfortunately had to be cancelled. How are you finding that?
I'm sure, like most people, I'm absolutely gutted that some of them have had to be cancelled. And some of them have been postponed. And the day that we had to cancel kind of ISCA, I was fairly, emotional, I think, is to say the least. And I'm sure James is probably nodding his head behind me. But I don't know. It's just having to do things differently. And I just guess we've just got to understand that we've got to stay safe at the moment. Yeah. And although that's really difficult, it's the same kind of difficulty as not being able to give a friend a hug, or it's just needing to stay safe. Yeah,
it kind of hit home a little bit when we were watching that video earlier on. Lord, you've been good, from ISCA 2018. That actually, that won't take place this summer. But actually, we've still got each other, and those lines of communication are really important this summer. To make sure you keep in touch with your friends and your family, you ring each other, see how you're doing, and as time progresses and the lockdown eases, there will be things which will be able to come in and take its place. We don't know what that looks like yet. But as we begin to see more of our friends and our family, that will be easier. But if you are struggling at this moment in time, do get in touch. We've got a fantastic network of friends who are here to support you and pray for you at this moment in time. So if you have your prayer requests, send them in, because we want to be praying for you. We're a praying church, and that's really important.
Yeah, and we have so much time at the moment. It's that thing of kind of weekends where we would normally spend afternoons and evenings and being busy, actually at home, in the garden, or wherever it is. We'd love to be praying for you guys. We'd love to be kind of talking to you and chatting some of the stuff through which you might be struggling with. And don't feel alone in any of this. Kind of, like Mark says, we have a network of people. And get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have your prayer requests come through. And be assured that we are still praying for you guys. And I'm sure, and I know that a lot of the other team are as well. Yeah,
for me and Sarah, we're used to seeing many of you at regular occurring things like youth band and youth chorus, and we haven't had that. So please do make sure you do keep in touch, and we're here for you guys. We want to support you during this time as much as anything. I've had a thumbs up from James, so I think we've got a few videos in which we can see. I'm I'm not sure if we'll see them on our screen. We
Oh,
will.
we will. That's exciting.
So it's just going to appear. Thank you for sending these in. It's great to see that you're involved and up and active at home.
I think it's worth saying that that when we discussed this quiz, we already had filmed this video. So this wasn't something that kind of, I don't know what the words are, just the fact that he did this for the fun. I think on that day in particular, he might have been a little bit lonely in his office.
Right, so here we are coming on screen. I don't know who we've got first. We've got Paul and Claire.
Paul's supporting the beard at the moment. Look at that. This just shows how long it is.
I'm impressed by the concentration levels on. Though.
I was going to say, but have any of these tea bags gone in the cup?
If they turn around and say they've had 30 in, I'll be impressed. And I'm hoping that you're going to recycle these tea bags and use them. If they aren't going to waste, you need to make sure you use these tea bags.
And say one of the things I thought was, I wonder if it's easier with a triangle tea bag than a round tea bag. That was one of my thoughts this afternoon as we were planning this quiz.
We're going to move on to the next one. Thank you for that entry, Paul and Claire and Emma. Here's Dan Seftons. Oh, I like the shot. Good camera work. There's one.
Oh, we've got one. Come on, Dan.
Yeah.
I know how much Dan loves sport. And
he's into a bit of a groove there, though. You see he's got the...
Oh, we bounced. Yes.
Oh, he's got 5 in and he's devastated. I think he's gone for the circular tea bag as well. Oh, no, is it a square?
No, I think it's a circle one. Oh, no, it might be square, but it's not a triangle. I think the triangle's going to be the easiest one. Whoever thought this was a conversation we would be having?
I like what's on the cup as well. Let's move on to the next one. This is Emily Lister.
Oh, nice bit of cheating with the curtain.
I didn't see it to begin with. I wondered what was happening.
This is pure kind of taskmaster kind of ideas going on here.
Can
I'm
I just
liking it.
make a comment on the amount of effort she's gone into? She's also put a tape measure down
Oh, yes.
to measure the
She
distance.
has indeed. Well done.
That's
Did we say this one was Emily Lister?
extra
Well done,
points for that.
Emily. I'm impressed.
And she's nearly filled the cup of tea bags there.
Well done.
We'll
Next
move on to
one.
the next one. Here's the Mortimers.
The Mortimers.
Gone for the casual approach.
I was going to say, sat down. Excellent. I love the fact that the whole family are getting involved here as well. Leo is very much involved. The dog has no idea what is going on.
We'll try and post these to the group later in the week if possible. And don't worry, if you haven't managed to get them in just now, we will try and post them up later after tonight has taken place.
Excellent stuff. Do we have any more?
Oh, we've got a few
excellent.
more.
Let's go for more.
Oh, this, I believe, is Isla and Dan. Is she catching him in front of him?
She just looks really confused.
Like, Daddy,
oh,
what
yes,
are you doing?
Isla.
Another look at the size of that tea bag.
Oh, I
What
was
are
going
they
for the mug. It's a Sports Direct mug. It's a proper massive mug.
That's ambitious. If you want to get that many tea bags
Well
in, I
done,
like
Katie.
it.
I'm
Great
impressed.
effort, Katie.
Yes. Oh, no,
do
missed.
comment on the group. Let us know how many you actually got in
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
Maybe you've been
I was
unable to
going to
send
say,
them in.
Dan Stevens has just shown one clip again and again and again, which makes it look like he's got it in every time. Look at the amount of tea bags. Look at that massive stash. Well done, guys.
Great, we've got one more.
One more.
Martin Locke here. You got 19 in?
He
Claims-
says this. I'm not seeing the cup, Martin.
What you don't see is Paul there
Also,
catching
he's
him.
doing it. He's doing it 2 at a time. 2 at a time.
Brilliant.
Well done, guys.
I like to see the competitiveness that has taken
Absolutely.
place here.
Okay, we've got one more video coming through. Oh! So they went for the approach that I also did, of instead of throwing the tea bag into the cup, just putting it in and going for that and some water.
I like it. Rather than take the 5 minutes to throw a tea bag in a teacup, I'm going to make a brew. It's a good idea.
That was my idea and very much stuck to that one.
So we're,
Fantastic.
thank you for your entries. Do keep sending them in if you haven't done so already. We will try and post some of them later in the week, but we're going to move on to our next round.
I'm enjoying my brew as well. Always the professional, as it is, as you can see. So when I was kind of having these initial thoughts about doing a quiz, One of the things that we both said was that we really wanted to rope in other people. So it wasn't just the two of us that you were seeing. Now, one of the staff members from ISCA very quickly said, I'm really good at drawing. And I thought, wow, that's really big-headed. And then it was the word that came next, blindfolded. And I asked her to then prove it, and she did. And who knew that this was a skill that people had? And not only that, at what point did you manage to find out this was a skill that you had? So what we're going to do is we're going to have some videos of Beth Clifford, who is going to draw for us, but is going to be blindfolded as well. So we've got her twin, Jodie, who's going to be holding the camera, and we're going to see what Beth can draw. What I want you to do this time is we're going to watch one of the clips, and what we're going to do is we want you to be the quickest person to answer. So hopefully this is going to be, hopefully you're going to understand, and you're going to be able to tell what it is. But we're going to have almost a fastest finger first. Why have I got...
We are aware that this might not work in terms of we're asking a lot of James to turn this around for us. So please be aware with us. We think we're going to get a video up on the screen, but then comment the answer below. So yeah, let's have the first video if possible.
Okay, so there you go. That was the first clip. So what we would like you to do is be the fastest finger first. So what we want you to do is tell us what you think that is. So hopefully we should get some comments coming through. Kay Morby, straight on it.
What I quite like is the second one. So Kay has got the correct answer. It is in fact an Easter egg. But the second one we had was from Elliot Lister. He thought it was Homer Simpson. Bryony
Well done,
Stevens, Yvonne West, a lot of people are getting this one, Paul Hardcastle, Davina, Dan Sefton, so well done on guessing the first one correctly.
Absolutely incredible. So we're going to move on to the second one, and there are only 5 of these, but can I just say, blindfolded, how impressive. The joys of being live and understanding.
So it wasn't Kay that got that last one correct, it was actually Peter. So Pete, well done Pete on getting that one. It was the Easter egg.
Well done, guys.
I think maybe on another week we should try and draw blindfolded. I think that might be a bit harder for them to
I was
guess.
going to say, I'm not 100% sure that it would, that I'd do very well. I'm not sure me drawing normally would be able to show them what it is.
So we're ready to go to number 2.
Excellent.
So get ready to guess again.
Video 2.
Here's number 2. Okay, we just have to apologise. If you're seeing a few messages pop in, it's actually, it's not Jeff Clifford, it's Beth Clifford. She's messaging Sarah, just commenting about these videos as they come in. Again, thank you, Beth, for sending these in. We're looking forward to looking at some of the answers. Do you have some of the answers there, Sarah, that we can go through?
Yeah, so have we got answers on the way through?
Some, I've had quite a few in. The first person to respond was Paul Hardcastle. So what is the answer?
So what was Paul's answer for it?
Paul's answer was family.
It is indeed family. Well done.
So we've got a few people got that. We've got Joya Parker, the Parker family got it. Kay, so
Excellent.
I think that's Pete again. Wayne Price answered dog.
Ooh, was there a dog in it? I can't remember.
Elliot Lister went a bit different. He was thinking it was social distancing.
Ah,
That would be impressive
I
to
was
draw.
going to say, you are, you're ahead of us in this, Elliot. And we're going for the more simple answers.
Dan Sefton, a nuclear family. Joya Parker, a family home. Sophie Nash, family. So quite a lot getting this right. So
Absolutely.
just proves to say Beth can definitely draw blindfolded.
Yeah, absolutely. Have we got number 3 queued up? Fab, let's go on to number 3. Okay, so who was able to understand or kind of guess what that was? Bryony Stevens?
Yeah,
A
so
full English breakfast. It was indeed. What I asked for was exactly that, a full English.
got a lot of people getting this. Some people picking the actual items. So Elliot is with Emily as well. They put a fried egg, but I think we did put breakfast beforehand.
She did start with the fried egg, so that would make sense.
Yeah, the Parker family got it. Alex Mortimer, Wayne and Rachel. There's a few people coming in here with this. Kim Hamlet, Vicky Stevens. This seems to be the most popular one. I think people maybe are either enjoying the English breakfast regular or missing them.
I was going to
But,
say,
they got this one.
this is the wrong time to admit that I'm quite hungry, and that's just made me a little bit more. But yeah, well done, Katie. An English brekkie, absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to number
Number
4.
Okay, so let's see who is the quickest to get video number 4. I'm very specific in the answer that I was looking for. So let's see who is the first one through with the answer.
So Kay's coming straight away, so I think it's Kay and Pete with the answer of planets. Vicky Stevens has answered with space. Dan Sefton with solar system. I'm not sure I'd be able to get that.
I'm not sure I would either.
So what is the answer, Sarah?
So the answer that I'd asked for was space, because I just wondered how she would draw it, whether she would go for space as in the sky and the sun and the moon and all the rest of it, or whether she would go for the social distancing and space between people. So well done to Beth for kind of being able to draw this blindfolded. I'm genuinely impressed.
A few other answers that came in there. We've got quite a few solar systems, a few
Ooh.
nights. Dan Sefton, the Milky Way.
Dan, I'm just hungry. Stop mentioning food.
You're thinking of chocolate, aren't you?
I am, and now I've got Milky Way stars in my mind. Come on, Elliot.
Got lots of coming in, so this is really impressive on Beth's part for drawing this.
Yeah, absolutely, genuinely. Again, how do you know that you have got this talent? At what point did she go, I'm going to draw blindfolded. Let's see how I get on.
We haven't asked for it, but I bet there's going to be a few people trying to draw blindfolded over the next few days now.
Make sure you're not like resting on the carpet or the wall in case you go off the paper.
So we're going to move on to the final one. And again, thank you, Beth, for sending these in.
Absolutely.
This is number 5, and it's about to come up ready. We've still got a few more comments coming in, which is great
Okay.
to see. And here's number... Okay, so that was our last one. I can't remember the answer, so I'm going to hand over to Sarah.
Okay, so hopefully we've not had the right answer yet, so let's keep sending your answers in. And while we're doing that, even if you can't guess the right answer, let's send some likes and some loves up for Bethany for being able to do this and for volunteering her services and not being bullied too much by me for that.
What?
Elliot is not hangman.
I love Dan Sefton's guess of the 10 Commandments. I love that. Swimming pool is another guess we've had.
Oh, where did swimming pool come from?
I think swimming pool was from Elliot and Emily.
Ah, nice. The answer was actually a letter. So that's what I'd asked her to draw. Again, I didn't know whether she would go for pen and paper letter or whether she would draw a letter of anything. So let's send your likes and your loves in for Beth, because honestly, I'm not sure I'd have volunteered to do that. Do we have the one video of her when she turns around and shows us putting on the blindfold? We don't, okay. So thank you so much. Beth, if you've got that picture of you putting on the blindfold, send that through later and we'll make sure it goes on the Facebook page as well. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, massive thank you for engaging with this. It's great to see the amount of responses we're getting in terms of guessing these answers. As we've mentioned already, we do plan to do this every fortnight. So maybe if you have something creative, an idea you have around you think we could benefit from, do get in touch and we might be able to include that in a future trivia night. We're looking for something a little bit different as well.
Yeah.
So if you've got an idea, do get in touch with both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like in Dan's comment there that says that he thinks that he should get extra points for being biblical. Well, Dan, you can have 10 points from me. Remember, it's just for fun.
Yeah. It's purely points for your own benefit, so you can have as many points as you like, Dan. Well done.
But well done, Dan.
Tonight has just been about having some fun with your family at home, engaging with each other, and I hope it's been something that you've been able to enjoy along the process. It's something different for me and you, something a bit uncomfortable for me and you, being on this side of a camera, but we're trying to embrace that element of it.
Yeah. And so one of the things that we're going to do is every Sunday night we are going to bring something to you. So every fortnight it will be the quiz in this show, and like Mark says, kind of send in your ideas to us, send them on a Facebook message, send them to the group, kind of send them privately to the group, not on the wall, because we don't want to give away too much. But thank you so much for that. But Mark's going to explain to you what we're going to be doing next week. As like we said, it's going to be every Sunday night you'll be able to tune in live.
So we've already mentioned it's been great to see how the church have come together. Each local branch of the Salvation Army has managed to try and put something together, whether it's just been like a cell group or replacing the gathering of a Sunday worship into something that's been on social media. But what we're going to do next week is we're going to bring a worship evening, and we're going to show clips of previous ISCAs. We're going to have a few interviews in there from different people asking how they're finding this period of lockdown. We're going to have a message maybe from our divisional leaders as well, if we can get them involved as well. So Jane, if you're still listening, we'd love to have a little chat with you as well.
Jane, I was meant to tell you on Friday, I didn't, and Mark's just dropped me in it. We're live, everybody.
But it's fine. We want to hear how you're all finding this time of lockdown. So we want to come together and spend a night of worship. Like I say, we'll show previous clips from summer schools, and we just want an evening of worship together. So that's going to be next Sunday evening, and we will share more information about that throughout the week.
Absolutely. So please, please, please join with us next week. Invite friends, invite family, invite people that, you know what, they might not want to, but what's the worst that can happen? They might just say no or not tune in. So there's no harm in asking or inviting away. So please, please, please get inviting people to the group.
We're going to end this evening by playing the song that Sarah said was been your favourite during this time, isn't it? And that's Build Your Kingdom Here. So from me and Sarah, I just want to say a massive thank you for joining in this evening. Please know we're always here, so do not hesitate to get in touch. And we look forward to joining you next week. Thank you.
And for anything else, watch Big Al on the video, sing along, join in, have some fun.
Good night.